This is a custom 5v5. Anyone is welcome to join. This is open to anyone from chat who'd like to join, friends of friends, enemies of friends. Bring in the worst people you know. Don't. It's open to anyone who'd like to join, so just tossing that out there. If you'd like to join on a future game, you are more than welcome to do so. I will tell people how to do that later if you have not already joined for one of our 5v5s in the past.
Can my mom join the game?
How big is your mom's ass?
Like 2x2 planks.
I don't like this. I don't like this joke.
It's tall.
I don't like this joke anymore. I do still need to get that jacket that just says I heart hot moms. 9 out of 10 players are ready. Who has not readied? Hold on. If you don't know how to ready, it's exclamation... Oh, dot ready. Okay. Well,
I do sports. Sports about it.
Yeah, Coom readied up, so we're good. Alright, so this should be moving into the knife round. I'm going to go ahead and deafen because teams have already been picked. Alright, knife round. I'm going to deafen. We'll get into the first match. I am deafened on the Discord, which means that I can now talk freely with no input from other people because I'm so great and amazing that I don't need outside opinions. Well, regardless, we are moving into the knife round here on Inferno. Teams have already been picked as they were made beforehand. It looks like T-side has no intention to actually leave T-spawn. You have me. Shut up, Leon. The voices in my head are very quiet in that I muted all of their notifications. Well, teams were made beforehand, and I will go over the roster here in just a moment. But for the CT side, that is going to be Rhino XT, Victor, who is Zooted Zazu. I'm just going to be calling him Victor, though. Coomslayer, DG Shadows, who I'll probably just be calling Shadows, and R1 for the CT side. But for T, Mr. Pool, Baps, Big Titty Gothic GF, Fructose Jaguar, and Neps here for the terrorist team. All, of course, in the Mama's Milky's clan, as you can see in the terrorist team name. Well, Rhino already going down means Victor is trying to hold his own on the second mid, finding eyes on, knives out, and that's going to be Victor going down to Mr. Pool. Fructose, Jaguar, R1, Coomslayer, and Shadows all going down. Looks like knives out from everyone. That means T-side will win the knife round, determining whether they will stay or swap from the T-side or over to CT side. But it does look like CTs have rotated out. Sorry, T's have rotated to CT, meaning that Mama's Milky's is now the counter-terrorist team, starting the first round, pistol round, on Inferno. Looks like Coomslayer is going to be holding onto the bomb here at T-spawn as they, I'm willing to put down money, are going to want to go for a B rush. Looks like that's going to be 5-7 and 2 P250s picked up here for the CT side, though it looks like 4 Glocks and an R8. Coomslayer holding onto the R8 revolver grip as he makes a push through T-spawn, though it looks like Victor is just going to rush down Banano straight off the bat, immediately dunked on by Neps, holding onto the P250 Asimov. I think Coomslayer realized that wasn't a great idea to follow him. Shadows going down to Fructose Jaguar, already up in a 5v3 over the T side. Rhino, Coomslayer, and R1 remain. But with Rhino going down, Fructose Jaguar is going to take a little bit of damage, but he's not going to go down yet. That's going to be the USPS finish off on Coomslayer. R1 with a Glock headshot on Fructose Jaguar. 1v4 already in the pistol round, looking very nice for Mama's Milky's. R1, of course, is not out of this yet. We've seen him do very, very well in the past, and it's not out of the question that he might be able to pull a quad in the first pistol round. Oh my god! R1 with a gorgeous Glock headshot on Big Titty Gothic GF. B-site now completely defenseless, though. Pool, Baps, and Neps know that's going to be a push. Neps taking a huge chunk of damage, already down to 2 hit points. Stiff Breeze will knock him off his feet here, but Mr. Pool is going to move in through CT spawn as R1 finds the plant at the blue barrels. Eyes on, shots off, not connected from R1, but there's the push from Neps. Oh, he's going over! R1, damage from above, and that's going to be Baps down to R1, but R1 down to Neps. Finished out with a gorgeous push from Neps. Always keep an eye on above. Keep eyes everywhere. Have eyes in the back of your head. Like a 360 camera vision. Regardless, that is going to be the defuse for Neps to take the first round here for the CT side. Not how I thought that round was going to end at all. Not to say that I thought T's were going to pull it out, but rather I thought that was just going to be an easy gunplay finish for the CT side. But regardless, considering the performance of the terrorist side, they may not be entirely out of this one. Rhino's got the AK, PB Bison, R8, Mac 10, and a Deagle on the board with the T side, and R1 holding on to a Deagle as we already saw him pull some nutty Glock headshots. That Deagle's going to do a lot more damage. As if on cue, Mr. Poole going down with a gorgeous Deagle headshot from R1. 5v4 already in favor of the terrorist side, and it looks like only Fructose Jaguar is going to be holding apartments. He will get the finish off on Victor, but in a 4v4, that bomb's now rotating away. No, rotating into apartments. Coomslayer holding onto the R8 revolver grip, but shots off as that is going to be Fructose Jaguar going down to DG Shadows, holding on to the Mac 10 Candy Apple, moving into the currently undefended A site. But it does look like that is Baps. Never mind, I thought Neps was going to rotate in, but going down with a Deagle shot through the arches from R1. R1 to find another one here at the arches. Possible triple on the board. Ooh, with those shots. But that bomb is down. And a push from behind. Big Titty Gothic GF, the MP5 SD Phosphor. R1 taking damage and going down to Big Titty Gothic GF. Shadows out to Baps. That is going to be Baps holding on at Library. That is Coomslayer on bomb site proper, waiting for a push. Rhino holding the balcony as well. If he can just hold it for a little while longer, he might be able to get the finish off on Big Titty Gothic Jeff, who's rushing in to get the finish off on Coomslayer. Eyes on Rhino, trying to land some shots here. There's one, but there's none. That is Rhino down to Baps, and Baps, of course, will have plenty of time for a defuse. Don't be a loser, buy a diffuser. Plenty of time for it. Second round of the board here for the CT side, and now go 2-0. Oh, I'm glad we're doing this again. It's been a minute since I've been able to. Again, normally we do this every weekend, but I haven't been able to do it for 2 weeks. My sister is graduating, and I had a temporary job that I had to go work at, so, you know, just life kind of got in the way. Unfortunately, wasn't able to do a whole lot with this, but man, I'm glad we're back. But I will say, despite the T's being down 0-2, they still have some decent firepower on the board, having been able to trade fairly well. That's 3 AKs, a Galil, and an AWP on the board, though it looks like Victor, pushing in through Banana, is trying to find eyes on through the smoke. Big Titty Gothic Jeff with the MP5 SD, taking a little bit of damage, giving a lot more, though, and getting flashed out. Rhino, despite all the noise being made off of the B-bomb site, is trying for an attempt at A. Whew. Hey, baby girl, it's Callow. Welcome back. How you doing? Shadows will go down to Baps now, 5v4. Rhino still holding on to the bomb, but is now alone in a 1v3 at A. Though it does look like Baps is going for an apartment rotation. That is Rhino down to Fructose Jaguar, losing the bomb at the A-bomb site. Now, Neps alone with the AK Uncharted, holding B, as it seems that the T side is going to rotate away. Baps going down R1. Victor and Coomslayer remain, though. R1 with the gut knife, Gamma Doppler now pushing in through the mid despite his 14 hit points. Check that underpass as he makes his way over to the apartments. Cal with the Prime for 3 months. Racist for 3. What? Well, welcome back either way. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. Mr. Poole, Fructose Jaguar, and Neps now holding this one. They know that they have bomb control, which means this should be relatively easy for the CT side to pull, unless R1 can pull this hot double. Coomslayer will go down to Neps in a 3v2, already not looking great for the terror side, but R1's not out of this. Eyes on, shots off, but opt out by Neps. Victor is alone in a 1v3, but will he be the victor? Pushing up. No, that is going to be Fructose Jaguar to take the third round here for the CT side. 3-0. Well, I hope you're all doing well. Thank you all for being here. God, it feels so nice to be back. You know, I always talk about how I take Sundays and Mondays off for the sake of giving myself a break and not burning myself out. But honestly, I feel like I should be doing... Maybe we do this every other week. Not because I don't want to be doing it, but it's like... Not everybody's available every weekend. Or we alternate. People have been talking about wanting to do a custom R6 5v5, so who knows? Well, Neps is already down to R1 with a gorgeous double as he moves into the now undefended B-bomb site. Neps and Big Titty Gothic GF means, never mind, Fructose Jaguar going down to Victor with the AK finish off of the back alley. That is Baps and Mr. Poole remaining. Baps is immediately denied by Shadows, looking very nice for the T side. This might just be a perfect round for the Terrorist team. Being able to hold on to those weapons, plenty of utility. This might be a turning point for the Terrorist side, despite CT's being up 3-0. Coomslayer going down to Mr. Poole, but Mr. Poole taken from behind by R1 with an op triple. Not a perfect round for the T side, but a very good one. With the first round of the board with the T side up now 1-3, it's certainly, what's the word? this already feels like a really good match between both teams. I mean, Fructose Jaguar for the CT side's already up 6-3, and I don't want to say he's hard carrying, but also R1 is 10-3. So we've got some hard carries on either side. I don't know how this one goes because R1, while he does have the most kills of anyone in the server, T's are still down 1-3. I'm hoping this might be a turning point for the T side, make it a little bit more neck and neck. Well, it does look like DG Shadows with the AK Slates making the push in, and Neps is feeling very confident, very comfortable up on top of those barrels. 3, 2, 1, and Shadows couldn't see it. Neps is very, very confident and seems to be loving that verticality play. Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of hoping he might go for a flower box hold over at the B site. Rhino going down to Fructose Jaguar. Victor holding out of the bomb with a 5v3. Victor, Coomslayer, and R1 means an Op Scout and an AK. Is Victor going to land this one to the coffins? Mr. Pool opt out by R1 for 4v3, not 5v3. I had to stop myself halfway through that statement. This should be a firepower advantage for the Terror side, especially with R1 having that op. Coomslayer going down to Fructose Jaguar means a 2v4 as R1 pushes up with Coomslayer. Gunskin up. Big Titty Gothic GF now down with a 3v2. That's an MP5SC, an AK, and an M4A1S versus one AK and an op. Again, R1 is doing phenomenally here for the T side, and I think having that op on the board for R1 specifically should be disastrous. And will it be? Ooh, barely whiffed that one. Bass saved by R1. There's a quad for R1. 1v1. This is all net out of Fructose Jaguar coming in for Banana. Oh my god, R1 with a gorgeous, gorgeous play there. 1v1 between both teams. Fructose Jaguar is going to make the slow push in with the AK Uncharted. Find eyes on 3, 2, 1, and there's the ace from R1, taking the entire round for himself. Oh, ooh. You know, I said he's hard carrying, and he's up 15-3. I definitely think he is. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now, with that said, I don't want this to be steamroll in either direction. I'm hoping this is going to be relatively evenly matched. R1 carries these, says Rice. I completely agree. I mean, just damn. Just damn. I mean, it's a fantastic start for the CT side, but T's are definitely bringing it back. Hard rush in through Banana, in through the smoke. Baps holding on to the PB Bison. Is he going to find eyes on the Candy Apple? Victor will go out, digged out by Mr. Pool. There's the op shot from R1 whiffed as he backs off, taking damage from behind. Baps still keeping the pressure up, but Baps is going to be taken down by R1. R1 will find the op shot. Bombs down on Banana, and it looks like that's Shadows coming in to help R1. Eyes on, and Mr. Pool going down to Shadows. Rhino digged out by Fructose Jaguar, 3v3. This does not look great for the CT side, considering the firepower disadvantage of a USPS Deagle and a PB Bison. But with Coomslayer going down to Fructose and Big Titty got the GF going down to R1, it's an op and an AK versus a Deagle and a PB Bison. Shadows moving up, trying to recover that bomb. Neps taking a big chunk of damage himself, but R1 is also dangerously low at 41 hit points. What could be an easy finish, Jaguar will be opted out by R1. 1v1, Neps is alone with the PB Bison Space Cat, but with that bomb rotating back towards the A bomb site, he definitely knows he's not going to find it at A. R1, though, is going to rush the arches. Is he going to find this? Deagle shots off, and no! R1 will go down to Neps. 1v1. Neps holding on to now a free op versus Shadows' AK Slate. Is Neps going to find this op shot? I'd love to see this happening from the CT side. Neps pushing in through the library to find eyes on in the pit in 3, 2, 1, and... no, not quite. There it is. Eyes on, and there's an easy finish for Shadows. Third round of the board for the T side. 3-3. Ooh. Ooh. This is going to be a very good game. I feel it. I'm feeling it. I am feeling it currently in my bones. Man, I should have had a punchline prepared for that, shouldn't I have? Ignore my failure at comedy. Well, regardless, looks like what... well, no? It looks like R1 had the bomb, but he actually dropped it off the T ramp. In case he got taken down, he wouldn't lose the bomb for his team. Though Baps on the Mag 7, greatest gun of the game. Shadows will get the AK finish off on Mr. Pool, the 3v5. Fructose Jaguar down to Shadows and Baps. Mag 7 shots off on Rhino, and there's the headshot on Rhino to take him down. Bomb has been recovered by R1, as it looks like that is an apartments rush over to the relatively undefended A bomb site. It's a 4v3 now, but man advantage is still in favor. Yeah, definitely still in favor of the T side. Big City got the Jeff going down to Coomslayer, as that's Coomslayer down with a gorgeous scout shot from Neps. Will he find a double? No, he will not. Taken down by Shadows, and Baps out to Victor. Fourth round for the T side to now overtake the counter-terrorist team. Despite Mama's Milkies being a pre-made 5-stack, R1 is fucking amazing, up 18-4. Fructose Jaguar asking if the server is 128 tick, which it is. Bomb has been dropped off by R1 for Victor to recover as he goes for a hard B rush. Incendiary out, but taking a bit of frag damage. AK push and take him down. That is going to be taken down by Mr. Pool. Bats out to Shadows, and the bomb lost from the CT team. Sorry, to the CT team. Eyes on from R1, and there's a gorgeous flick on Mr. Pool. Fructose Jaguar down to Shadows as well. Big Titty got the GF, and Neps remain in a 2v4 against. Doesn't look great, but it's definitely not over. That's going to be Big Titty got the GF for the finish off on Coomslayer. Now 2v3, Incendiary out. Neps still holding it concrete, waiting for a push in through Banana to try to recover the bomb. R1 moving in. R1 definitely saw him. Waiting for the push. Swing and a miss. That is going to be R1 backing off through Banana. Smoke to cover him. Oh, that was a gorgeous smoke play. I saw that. And with Big Titty got the GF going down to Shadows, it's a 1v3 against Neps to find it. That is going to be Shadows with the AK finish. That was a quad for Shadows. I didn't even notice. Also, my headphones just died. Hold on, give me a moment. Fifth round of the board for the T side, 5-3. Like I said, I'm hoping this won't be a steamroll. I'm really hoping CTs are going to be able to pull something out here, because otherwise, if R1 is left unchecked, I mean, he's already up 19-4. They're not going to stand a chance against that. Also, Shadows is $14,000? What? Coomslayer, currently AFK, not sure what he's doing. But Bap's taking a little bit of incendiary damage, rushing up with the XM1014 Watchdog, but it will pay off, getting the finish on Victor. Victor Vaughn? I don't know. Victor Vaughn. Oh, it's like Dr. Doom. I think his name is Victor Vaughn. I forget. Regardless, 5v4. It's not looking great. R1 still with the Op Worm God, and Rhino taking a huge chunk of damage from Mr. Pool, who is holding his own to the pit. Yeah, Victor Von Doom. Coomslayer and R1 both remain here. R1 still holding on to the bomb, but again, just because he's alone, or almost alone, does not mean that he won't be able to pull this out. We've already seen him ace, and that doesn't mean he won't be able to do so again. Bomb dropped off as R1 goes for the flash push in towards B bomb site, but the bomb is just outside Coomslayer's control. Now recovering it though, now following in through Banana. That is going to be Big Titty Gothic GF and Neps moving up into the B bomb site to find Eyes On and waiting for the push from Coom and R1. Smoke out, Eyes On, shots off, and Coomslayer down R1 in a 1v4. The only kill on the board for the T side this round was from R1, so if he can hold his own, this will be a possible ace. Neps now down to R1, 1v3 now. Mr. Pool, Big Titty got the GF, and Fructose Jaguar main, but with Mr. Pool opt out by R1, now a 1v2. Shots from behind, a little bit of damage. Was that a push over Coffins? I thought I saw a body there. But that is going to be Fructose Jaguar coming in from the Banana. Big Titty Gothic Jeff in through Ruins. And R1 down to Fructose Jaguar means fourth round of the board for the CT side. 4 and 5. They may be down, but they're not out. Thank you all for being here, by the way. I just noticed we dropped like 5 viewers, so hey. Appreciate those who are still here. Well, it does look like this is looking a lot nicer for the CT side this round. Despite R1 picking up the op, it seems the game wants to give the firepower advantage to the CT team. A Tech 9 AK Scout, another AK, and an op on the board versus UMP45, Deagle, 2 M4A1Ss, and an op. Mr. Pool, UMP45 finish off on Rhino. Shots from behind down to the Shadows with the AK Slate. Looks like apartments have been relatively cleared for the T side, though Fructose Jaguar still holding alone at balcony, waiting for an A push. And it looks like that's exactly what he's going to get as Coomslayer is taking the bomb in through apartments to the back alley. What looks like a push to rendezvous with both Victor and, Shadows. Victor and Shadows. But Fructose still holding on to the Neps' M4A1S Hyper Beast. Oh, terrible time to back off. Shadows down. Possible double. R1 taking a big chunk of damage. Nose T's are going to be pushing up into the A bomb site. Coomslayer is going to go down to Fructose Jaguar with another finish. Oh, definite triple. Gorgeous triple on the board nonetheless. Victor Von Doom alone in a 1v3. Holding on to the M4A1S Hyper Beast. I don't think this is going to work out. Game predicts a 4% chance, and it looks like Big Titty Gothic GF knows he's there. 3, 2, 1, and down goes Victor Von Doom to Big Titty Gothic GF. Fifth round of the board for the CT side, tying it up 5 and 5. Ooh. And yeah, his name's spelled backwards, number 7 here. But it's Victor Vauon. So I assume it's supposed to be like Victor Vaughn, which just reminds me of Victor Von Doom. And I know his profile picture is of Totoro, so it's Victor Von Doom. Anyways. Looks like CTs are definitely trying to come back here. 2 ops and 3 M4A1S's, definite firepower advantage on the board here for the CT side. And it looks like R1 is swapping off from using an AK, and from using an op to using an AK, up 22-6. That might just be the crutch that the CT team needs. I don't want to say, crutch is a strong word, but I mean, R1's performance with an op was undeniable. Big Titty Gothic Jiv will go down to Shadows, as that is R1 pushing up to find eyes on Coffins, though Neps is still holding alone at, holding his own at Coffins. Mr. Pool and Rhino going down now with a 3v3 between both teams. R1 down to Baps. That might be the linchpin this round. Victor is going to go down, but he's going to land a lot of damage. Shadows is alone. He's already got a triple, a 1v2 against Baps and Neps, who are at 24 and 57 hit points respectively. Now Shadows is dangerously low at 12 as Baps moves up with R1's Infant Annihilator. How did I not see that name? Baps going down to Shadows leaves a 1v1. Neps knows that is going to be a bomb recovery and attempted push at B. So he's going to hold his own at the B site, but Shadows is backing off slowly through Banana. I think he just wants to get out of earshot. Neps here's that frag off, and I think that that's all the sound that he needed to keep Neps pinned at B, waiting for the push from Shadows. But Shadows is already at top of mid, rotated out to the A-bomb site. Neps is going to have to make his way in through CT spawn over to the A-bomb site. Shadows finding the plant already. Bomb is down and clock is at 40 seconds. Neps realizing that he's been holding the wrong site, rushing in through ruins over to CT spawn. Now Shadows is moving through top of mid. He's waiting for an arches or library push. I think he just heard those footsteps. He definitely did. 3, 2, 1, and oh, that's Neps down to Shadows. There's the 6th round of the board for the T side. 6 and 5. A gorgeous decoy. I think Shadows just dropped that op for R1, I believe. R1's not buying a primary. I believe that primary is for R1, giving him the firepower he needs to dominate the round. There you go. Well, game wants to say that there is a slight firepower advantage in favor of the T side, and I can't disagree with that. We've again seen how well R1 can do with an op. Obviously, he's up 22-6 right now. Sorry, 22-7. My apologies. But I mean, CTs are definitely trying to come back into their own here. It's not over at all, but I don't know. Shadows going down to Baps, and Coomslayer taking a big chunk of damage. That's the double for Baps, in fact, holding at quad now. A side completely cleared. All 3 CTs holding at Banana. Rhino trying to find eyes on over this. I don't know if they're meant to do that. No, that was definitely to flush anyone out from concrete, but that is going to be both Mr. Pool and Neps waiting for the push over Banana. Rhino coming into the AK Uncharted. I believe that's going to be Neps with a scout to find eyes on first. Despite that smoke, oh, it's just not enough. He can still peek through coffins. Saw eyes on Rhino, saw the bomb, knows that it's coming into the B-bomb site, but that's going to be Mr. Pool going down to R1. R1 holding on to the Op Worm God. Is he going to find a double here at Coffins? I don't think so. Possibly, though. Incendiary out, frag out, and that's going to be Baps, Neps, and Victor all now down at the same time. Gorgeous performance. Third Coast Jaguar down with a double from R1 to leave it all now down to Big Titty Gothic Jeff. Find eyes on behind R1. Oh, he knows it. He knows that's a banana push. 3, 2, 1 with the off shot, but no damage off from Big Titty Gothic Jeff. Is R1 going to find the quad here? Now backing off. He's still holding B bomb side. Big Titty Gothic Jeff holding on to the M4A1S, coming in through Banana. He knows, oh, this isn't going to work out for Big Titty Gothic Jeff unless she can land the shot on R1 before he can on her. So, read that in a moment. Big Titty Gothic Jeff, eyes on, shots off. Down to R1 with a no-scope nonetheless. There's the 7th round of the board for the T side, up 7 and 5. She's just joining the stream after nearly trashing my Switch out of pure frustration from sub-tank hunting on Mega Man ZX. To the level designer for the 3rd sub-tank, you deserve your skull crushed. Harsh words? I was never a huge Mega Man fan. I don't think Mega Man is bad, don't get me wrong. I've just never been huge on Mega Man. I like old school platformers. Mega Man never really did much for me, though. But fair enough. Eclipse Ballad, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Victor Vaughn is down to Baps already. And it looks like a definitive firepower advantage. in favor of the T side, but despite that, Neps is still holding his own, picking up a free AK from Rhino. Mr. Pool going down and Shadows out to Fructose, 4v2. Coomslayer and R1 remain, but Baps outfall by Fructose down to Coomslayer and R1. That's going to be Big Titty Gothic Jeff and Neps remaining. Oh, down to Coomslayer, R1, Coomslayer. Both remain 2 ops on the board versus Big Titty Gothic GF with those tetanus butt plugs. M4A1S player 2 push in through ruins. Back to CT spawn. Eyes on R1. Knows that that's going to be a shot, but heard those shots. Sorry, know that that's going to be a bomb plant at the B-bomb side, but knows that those were shots off towards where he was going for the plant. R1 holding the barrels, waiting for a back of ruins push. Big Titty Gothic GF instead holding inside the ruins, waiting for someone to push down the CT rotation. Coomslayer waiting. R1 waiting as well. About to find eyes on 3, 2. Oh, no! 3, 2, 1, and down goes Big Titty Gothic GF with an AK headshot from R1, 8-5. R1 is 28-7 right now. I don't believe I can see what his rating is. What is your competitive rating, my guy? I need to know. I need to know what you are. Wow, 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 cheese man. Hello, Nugget Memer, welcome back. How you doing? Appreciate you being here. Ow, my back. Ow, my bones. Ow, my skin. Bomb carrier Rhino is trying to push out through primary mid as Neps goes down R1. Possible double tap and a double off on Baps. Now 5v3 as the B side is completely undefended. Rhino's going to move in for an easy plant as Fructose Jaguar has been opted out by Coomslayer. Mr. Pool and Big Titty Gothic Jeff are both holding off towards the A bomb side though. Shadows 3, 2, 1 and down to Big Titty Gothic Jeff, 4v2. Big Titty Gothic Jeff taking a big chunk of damage, but she's not out yet. 2v4 against though. Rhino has the plant on B. Big Titty Gothic Jeff now pushing in through the arches. R1, 3, 2, 1, and oh! Taken from the side. That is going to be Big Titty Gothic Jeff now going down R1. Mr. Pool alone in a 1v4. God Garden Warfare 2 earlier today. Excited to absolutely school you in any deathmatch mode. I have not played Garden Warfare 2 yet. I haven't even installed it yet, but I'm definitely down to do that next week. We'll do a Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 stream next week. Or Garden Warfare 2 custom 5v5 next week. But of course, Mr. Pool trying to save. Knowing that the T's are on a roll with now their 9th round up 9-5. Mr. Pool probably should have waited in that tunnel, but either way, wanting to hold on to a free AK for this next round, knowing that they're down 5-9, I can't fault him for that. Wanting to have some firepower on the board, given that they're not doing great here. Obviously, R1 being up 31-7. Yeesh. Yeesh. Looks like CCs are trying to determine what weapons they're going to be using still. Though, despite that, Fructose Jaguar is already on the banana. Incendiary out to stop anyone from pushing up. R1 holding on to the Victor Vaughn's AK. 2 Victor Vaughn's AK. Despite that, firepower advantage is actually still in favor of the CT side, if only slightly. Though that is going to be shots off. Bats now going down to the graveyard. Victor Von Doom with the finish. Of course, Shadows now down to Big Titty Gothic Jeff, 4v4. 4v4. Numbers are weird, and I can't speak English. I feel like... So the bomb is still back at or near T spawn. I wonder if the T side deliberately left that there, knowing that they have such an advantage that it doesn't matter whether or not they have it. Though Coomslayer has gone back to recover it. Rhino will go down, and with R1 out, both Shadows and R1 are down. The 2 heavy hitters here for the CT side. Sorry, the T side, my apologies. But in a 2v4 against the CT side, Mr. Pool, Big Titty Gothic Jeff, Fructose Jaguar, and Neps still remain. I think this might go 6-9 for the CT side. Nice. Oh, gorgeous op shot off from Coomslayer on Fructose Jaguar. 3v2 still. That's an M4A1S and an op versus 2 AKs and an M4A1S. Looks like Victor Von Doom with Neps' M4A1 and Hyper Beast is going to move in through the apartments. Just heard that reload. Mr. Pool! A gorgeous shot with a flashback on Victor Von Doom, 1v3. And despite the relatively clear B bomb site, Coomslayer is going to go for A. Big Titty Gothic Jeff had to have heard those footsteps as she's holding here, waiting for the push. 3, 2, 1, and... Oh, spray the corner, pre-fire. Coomslayer down with an AK headshot from Big Titty Gothic Jeff. There's the 6th round on the board for Mama's Milkies, up 6-9. Once again, nice. genuinely a great half. It wasn't quite as neck and neck as I was hoping it would be, but regardless, now swapping sides, Mama's Milky's back on T, and CT's the former T side. If Garden Warfare 2 doesn't have controller support, I'm going to get schooled. Honestly, I'm more excited about like PvE stuff. I know I've said it before. One of my favorite game modes in any game is just wave defense. Just like, hey, hold this point for X amount of time. It's a very simple game mode, but like me am like shoot fast and kill good. Well, it looks like a hard rush here from the T side in towards the A bomb site. R1 is already down to Fructose Jaguar. It looks like Mama's Milky's being able to go on the offensive right off the bat might just be the difference they needed to take the lead. Shadows and Neps now downfall by Rhino down to Mr. Pool. It's going to be Victor Von Doom and Coomslayer, both for the CT side as Coomslayer comes in past the arches into the A side proper. Bomb down on A. Baps trying to land those Tech 9 shots, but not quite landing them. Coomslayer down, and with Victor Von out to Mr. Pool. There is the 7th round of the board there for Mama's Milky's, up 7 and 9. Again, I think maybe, despite them being down just a few rounds, I think going on the offensive is what Mama's Milky's needed to mix things up. 2 AKs on the board for not quite the heaviest hitter. Neps is at 10 and 12, but 11-11 for Mr. Pool, what is effectively the same number. Regardless, 2 AKs, 2 MAC 10s, and a Galil on the board versus 2 USPSs, a Scout, a P250, and a Deagle. Though Victor Von Doom will go down to Mr. Pool with a MAC 10 Nuclear Garden Rush. Of course, B site was completely undefended, or is completely undefended now. Mr. Pool will go down to Coomslayer. That wasn't a question. I was more confused. Only one person went to B for the CT side. But despite that, bomb is now down. Fructose Jaguar down with an eagle shot off from R1, as is to be expected, though. Of course, Bass holding on to the SSG08. Big Titty got the GF going down to Shadows, and Coomslayer down to Neps, followed by Shadows out to Neps. Rhino down to Neps as well. Is that a triple? That's a quad right there. Neps is the finish on R1. I think that was the key factor, that X factor the T side needed. Mama's Milky's needed to start getting some points on the board. Already up now 8 and 9, dominating the start of the second half. Now, to be fair, that's also how the first half started as well. Obviously starting off 3-0 in favor of Mama's Milky's when they were on the CT team. So it's entirely possible that, I don't know, R1 currently up 32 and 10, as well as Shadows up 20 and 12, are going to be able to pull this back here for the current counter-terrorist team. Artisan McChicken. Yeah. Mr. Pool going down to Shadows. There's a push. Eyes on from Neps. Shots off, and Coomslayer down to the gorgeous AK flick. That's Fructose Jaguar, the finish off on Victor Von Doom, but Rhino in from behind. That's going to be Shadows down, followed by Rhino out. R1 alone, denied by Baps. 29 second round. Tied up 9 and 9 already. This is definitely looking very nice for the T side. Origin, yeah, the Origin launcher. Not excited about that. Anytime I think about the McChicken, I'm always reminded of that YouTube poop video where it's like, I like big butts, but it's just edited, so it's just like, I'm thinking about sticking my dick in a chicken. Anyways. With 4 AKs on the board with a T side and a Deagle. Whoa! Fructose Jaguar with shots through the wall and a double on Coomslayer. 5v3 Victor Von Doom, DG Shadows, and R1 remain. Shadows going down to Big Titty Gothic Jeff, R1, and holy shit! An incredibly fast round in favor of the T side. Whoa! I really do think just going on T side was what Mama's Milky's needed to really start dominating this game. Already taking the lead away from the counter-terrorist team. Up now 10 and 9 for Mama's Milky's. I mean, R1's up 32 and 12, but it looks like Fructose Jaguar's coming to his own. Up now 23 and 15. Neps up 16-12. Despite that, not great first half here for Mama's Milky's. They've currently taken 4 rounds straight. And what looks like a hard rush here through Banana for the T side. That's going to be Victor Von, who is going to get the finish on Neps. I don't think he took any frag damage there, but there's the push, and Victor Von down now in a 4v4. Hey, Cheese, you're pretty cute. Not going to lie, Cheese cute AF. Thank you. I'm pretty great. Regardless, 4v4, and R1 only with a P250 gun smoke. He's definitely got the money to buy something else. I feel like this might be an eco round for him, knowing that T-side has taken so many rounds in a row. Shadow going down to Mr. Pool. Coomslayer going out to Fructose Jaguar. Rhino and R1 remain. Rhino, eyes on. That's one. That's done. That's Rhino and R1 going down to Fructose Jaguar and Bass. 11 and 9 in favor of Mama's Milkies. And R1 having a good chunk of money. Oh, there's that Opworm God. Exactly what I was expecting. Knowing that that was going to be an eco round, given that the T side has now taken 5 rounds in a row. Definitely looking better. Definitely looking better for the CT side here. I mean, the game wants to say that there's a slight firepower advantage in favor of the counter-terrorist team, and I can't disagree with that. There's 4 AKs and an AWP on the board for the terrorist side, but AWP M4A1S, 2 M4A4, 2 M4A1Ss, and an AUG on the board for the counter-terrorist side. But despite what was initially a B-site rush, that bomb is already headed in for an attempt at an A-site plant. Baps holding onto the AK Legion of Anubis now, moving in through top of mid. R1 with the Opworm God. That is Big Titty Gothic GF now down. Smokes out, and R1 taking a big chunk of damage, but that is the double on Neps. Let's see if R1's eco round strat's going to be able to work out here. Bomb is down. CTs need to move in for the defuse. Rhino down to Mr. Pool, holding his own at second mid, but going down as well out to Coomslayer. Fructose Jaguar with the AK Redline, and Baps with the Legion of... Ooh, gorgeous finish on Victor Vaughn, 2v2. R1 taking a lot of damage here. T's know that he's trying to push Library, and that is going to be Coomslayer coming to the AUG Triqua, going for an attempt at a balcony push. Bass knows that that's going to be an attempt at a balcony, but Incendiary out near the bomb. I don't think CTs could take this even if they had time. R1 down to Fructose. Coomslayer out to Fructose. There is 12 and 9. R1's eco did not pay off. This might be really bad here for the CT team. Artisan, I think you could get I could get you a casting job for Siege. You interested? I doubt it's paid yet, but in the future it might be. Could be a good way to get you more notice. I'm not opposed to that. I mostly just... I kind of don't want to play Siege right now, and at least until I can get my stuff figured out. If you weren't here when we were playing Rainbow Six Siege yesterday, I don't know what it was. I'm running on an RTX 2070 and an i5 9600K hex core 3.7 gigahertz processor, but for some reason stream was dropping frames, like not like a network issue, it was like a hardware thing, like it couldn't encode it properly, which, what? No, it totally can. Well, Big Titty Gothic GF and Rhino going down to R1 and Fructose Jaguar. It looks like R1 pulling out his low-level eco strat again, but with the Deagle. I thought he lined that up perfectly. R1 down to Fructose and Victor Vaughn down to Neps. That's going to be Neps going down to DG Shadows with a 1v3 now, alone with the Desolate Space. There's a 1v2. 1v1. Oh, 1v1. Gorgeous. Bomb is down, but Mr. Pool's not out. That's a triple on the board for Shadows. And I hope for the CT side's sake that Shadows will pull it. Ripped off, and that is Mr. Pool down to Shadows. Sorry, now down to Shadows. There is the 10th round, 10 and 12 for the CT team. Wouldn't have to play, you could just cast. Yeah, no, I get what you mean. I'm just saying, like, the game hasn't been running well on my computer, and I don't really know why. It's... Timeout. Timeout, please. Called for a pause. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have to play the game, but still, for some reason, it doesn't want to run well. Like, the game itself doesn't run. So, as a caster, I wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't see much going on. Well, Shadows going down to Neps to the 5v4 over the CT side already. Again, looking very nice for Mama's Milkies. Coomslayer going down to Neps. Rhino, Victor, and R1 remain, though R1, who hasn't had a great performance in the second half, is still up 35 and 15. Guess is a driver update. I know you're smart, but that was my problem, and a driver update fixed it. Actually, that would probably make sense. I haven't updated my drivers in a while. Haven't needed to. Also, I noticed... Oh, Baps is AFK. That's why they were calling for a timeout. I was wondering about that. He still had a Glock, and it's like, he's got $11,000. Rhino and Big Titty Gothic Jeff going down to Big Titty Gothic Jeff and R1 with a double off on Fructose Jaguar. Now 3v2. What is an effective 2v2 with Baps AFK. The reason why they called for a timeout, but unfortunately just did not call for that timeout in time. R1 with the Opworm God waiting for an attempt at a bomb recovery. Now Neps with an Incendiary. Is he going to bounce that around the corner? He totally is. Incendiary out to flush R1 back. Flash out onto the A site proper. That's Mr. Pull down to Victor Vaughn. Victor is not going to find eyes on, but Neps is now effectively alone with the Ultra Sparks AK Bloodsport. New Siege anti-cheat update. The drivers need an update. That's fair. Neps heard footsteps and fake plant. R1 will still get the finish. And unfortunately, not able to call the timeout in time. Baps will not be able to pull this out. That will be the 11th round of the board for the CT side. Rice trying to kill Baps to make things a little easier for the CT team. Or at least wait until the clock plays out right there. There it is. Clock play for the CT side to take their 11th round, 11 and 12. Match has been paused until Baps comes back. Yeah, that would make sense. About to. Oh, Baps is back. Perfect timing. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not opposed to doing more Siege. It's just it wasn't running great last night. And also my network was doing a bunch of real goofy stuff. Like, I dropped something like 25,000 frames because my network is bad. And I know that that's been an ongoing issue. It was an issue today. Like, stream crashed. Like, my network dropped so low, it didn't just go full slideshow. It, like, straight up crashed entirely. It says I've only been on for an hour, but I've been on for like an hour and a half, so... You know, file another FCC report against my ISP for them to sit around with their thumb up their asses and do nothing. Fuck you, Ajit Pai. I still hate that motherfucker. He's the one who repealed net neutrality. Anyways, 3 ops on the board here for the counter-terrorist team, MP5SD and an M4A4 with Fructose Jaguar already down to R1. Big Titty Gothic GF now rushing the bomb in through the apartments. What looks like a hard hold here from the CT side. That is Rhino, Coomslayer, and Shadows. But Shadows down to Neps. Is Neps going to find any more? Holding on to the Ultra Sparks, waiting for a push from the CT team. That is, I believe, Coomslayer with Worm God, whiffing the op shot and down to Mr. Pool. Mr. Pool moving up in with the AK slate as Big Titty Gothic GF moves up with the bomb into the A site proper. R1. Shots off, but not enough to deny. There it is. Rhino and Big Titty Gothic GF going down. Shots off into the library. 2v3. Tease know where R1 is at, but bomb is still gonna go down. R1 and Victor Vaughn still remain. Victor Vaughn to the op Aetherist to find eyes on. Is he gonna find anything here? He hears those shots at lower A, but still gonna go down to Mr. Pool. R1 is a little pinned here with that incendiary, but Neps knows exactly where he is. Approximately. Shot. Oh, lucky shot through the smoke from R1. A no-scope through the smoke. R1 pushing up, saw the bomb, but doesn't seem to know where the remaining T's are. Is Mr. Pool. Mr. Pool, damage off, and there's the headshot. That is the 13th round up now, 13 and 11 for the T side, Mama's Milkies. But yeah, no, I'm definitely down to do more stuff with Siege. I definitely just need to get back into the game because there's been so many changes. Also, R1's up 41 and 16. There's just been so much change to the game. I would really need to brush off a lot of rust if I'm going to try to, you know, do casting for it. I mean, I say that, but, like, there's not a whole lot of changes. I would need to learn Emerald Plains, because that's, like, the newer map. And, I mean, Osa's ability is just a shield. Hey, Zemerald! This dude's better for me, so hey, with a tier 1 dude! Hell yeah. Yo, I need to get back into CS, much less another thing. Yeah, I get you. Also, R1 really needing to get some rounds on the board here. Breaking out a Scar 20. Fructose Jaguar and Baps now downfall by DG Shadows out to Neps with a 3v2. Is he going to... R1 with a triple off with the Scar 20 on Neps. It's gross. I hate the R1. The Scar 20, the G3 SG1, the M249, and the Negev are... in my opinion, by far the worst weapons in Counter-Strike. Not because they're bad and they don't do damage or you can't hit your target or anything like that, but because they take 0 skill to operate. They deal so much damage with such a high fire rate, you don't have to aim, right? With a Deagle or something like that, or an AK, you have to aim and it can deal a lot of damage, especially if you land a headshot, but like... accuracy by volume of fire. Just don't stop firing and you get a kill. It just feels like such a gross weapon. But regardless, CTs want to get that win, and I don't blame them. Mr. Pool going down to Victor Vaughn, 12-13. Looking better. Is R1... oh, R1 dropping the Scar 20 for Shadows. Dropping that for Coomslayer. Is R1 going to be holding on to the Deagle? No, he's picking up an M4A4 buzzkill. It looks like R1 just really wanted to guarantee that round, and I mean, I don't blame him. I get it. Also, Zemerald, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you being here. Now, Counter-Terrorist team has the definitive firepower advantage here. 3 AKs, a Glock, and an MP5 SD. But Fructose Jaguar opt out by DG Shadows. Bomb is still in Babs' control, now moving in through lower mid into the upstairs. What looks like an attempt at a bridge push to rotate into the apartments. Big City Gothic Jeff opt out by Shadows. R1 with a finish on Neps. Is R1 going to find another? That's a 5v2 already against Pool and Baps. Mr. Pool holding onto the AK Emerald Pinstripe at second mid, waiting for the push. Shots off through the smoke from Baps, so it looks like R1 knows, so that's going to be pushed. Mr. Pool going down, and Baps is a loner. 1v5, 1v4. Victor Vaughn down to Baps. He's not out yet, but he's just not looking great. Push from our Rhino. Oh, DG Shadows with a triple that round, tied up now 13-13. Looking like a real nice game. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Looking at stats, Canada and US 13 people makes sense. Some random ass Brazilian viewer. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you no matter where you are in the world. Unless you're from Britain. Britain's not real. Britain sucks. Fuck you. I love you though. Thank you for being here. Well, definite firepower advantage for the counter-terrorist team, given that is a P250, a Nova, a Glock, MP5SD, and a Scout for the terrorist team. Britain's not real, and everyone knows it. It's just a myth made to sell more dentures and beans on toast. Well, 2 CTs holding the A side alone. That is Shadows and R1 holding at top of mid. Shots off. R1 with the M4A4 finish on Fructose Jaguar in a 5v4. I think R1 might be able to ace this round, to be completely honest. Britain is real. It's Ohio that isn't. Ooh, I know that angle. Shadows going down to Mr. Pool. 4v4. Shots off and swapping off to the Deagle. Down to Neps, despite that firepower advantage. Woo! Koomslar going down to Bass is all in, and a Victor Vaughn coming in from behind the M4A1S. That's going to be Mr. Pool going down to Victor Vaughn, and it looks like bomb carrier Big Titty Gothic GF rushing the bomb into A. They should know where. Oh, wait. No? Oh, despite the hard A push, that is going to be a rotation now to B. Victor Vaughn could rotate to Banana. And he is? What? Bomb's going to go down on B. It's a 1v3 against him, but he's still going to find eyes on the bomb plant. Oh, bomb went down, but so did Victor Vaughn at the same time as Big Titty Gothic GF. A fantastically timed rotation for the counter-terrorist team, but just not worked out for him. 14-3 in favor of Mama's Milkies. Britain is real, is Ohio that isn't. Just reminds me of that one meme. Brazil's too good for you. You're going to Jacksonville, Florida. I've been to Ohio. It would be just as well if it weren't real. Man, am I glad I live in Texas, the greatest nation in the world. Big Titty Gothic Jeff holding on to the AK Legion of Anubis, as that's going to be Victor Vaughn and Babs going down, followed by Coomslayer out to Neps, Shadows, and Fructose Jaguar. That's going to be Big Titty Gothic GF out to Shadows. Now 3v2. Rhinos out to Fructose. Fructose is sweeping up this round. R1 down to the gorgeous AK headshot. Is he going to be able to quad this? I think it's possible. It's a 1v3 now. One kill on the board for Neps, but a triple for Fructose Jaguar. DG Shadows is gonna deny him. It's a 1v2. Mr. Pool and Neps remain. Neps! Nope. It's all now down to Neps. Mr. Pool was the push from behind. It's a 1v1. Neps has the bomb. Holding onto the pussy sword. It's a quad on the board for Shadows. Heard that drop. 3, 2, 1, and... Oh! Denied the ace. Neps with the P250 Asimov. 15-13. Moving in a match point for Mama's Milkies. What could be a 16-13 take for the terrorist team. I was about to say about Ohio. I remember you've probably seen that one thing where it's just like the vast majority of astronauts in America seem to come from Ohio. How bad can one state be that so many people need to like feel the compulsive need to flee the Earth? Well, T-side knowing how well they're doing up in match point. Baps and Victor Vaughn down to Shadows and Neps. Shadows out to Mr. Pool, and Neps holding on to Coomslayer's op. Find eyes on Rhino. Ooh, that's Rhino down to Fructose. 4v1 already down to Rhino. I think this might be the last round to take it 16-13 unless R1 can quad with a Deagle and defuse. Smoke is down. Bomb is down at B bomb site. Shots off through the smoke. 1v4 D clutch. I think it's possible. He's up 47-18. R1 pulling a quad Deagle clutch is not impossible here. Moving into the ruins. About to find eyes on as he pushes up. He's going to find eyes on Neps. R1 is holding those boxes. R1 pushing in through the back of B-bomb site over to Coffins. But Neps from above with a beautiful no-scope finish on R1. That is the 16th round of the board for the Terrace side. 16-13. Ooh. And Fructose got a Dreams and Nightmare case. Sell that one for $1. Ooh. Ooh, that felt good. Shut up. I am undeafened. Oh, everybody else here's deaf.
Time to get racist.
Holy shit! That was an amazing game!
50 kills and still L. I
God.
can't believe it.
God damn. Just holy shit, that was so good. Every time I thought one team would, like, definitely had the... Shut up. Every time I thought, like, one team had the, like, definite lead, other team immediately comes back to, like, just shit on the other team. Holy shit.
Sopa, by the way.
Please stop. Yeah, no, that's fine. Sorry, I'm just... like, holy shit! Just, oh my god, that was amazing!
Imagine getting 50 kills and still losing.
I feel bad for him. He was
Yeah.
trying so hard.
He was fucking
Yeah.
trying his
I
heart
commend
out.
him. I commend him.
Yeah?
He's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that was really good. The op crutch was annoying as fuck though. Jesus.
I really wanted to
He
point
got
that
us
out.
good with the ops.
Yeah.
But once he stopped getting an op, dude, my rifle beat his.
Shadows is pretty good too, but
Mhm.
I ended up learning how to punish his aggression.
Mm-hmm.
I saw I played with you the first time and you complained about our 5-stack.
I did.
Yeah,
I
you
was
did.
really angry.
And then you did it.
Yeah,
It's
That's right.
jam DVD.
that's what happened.
Well, I mean, we could set up
Right.
a time for a 5-stack v 5-stack if you want.
He quit. The other guy didn't want to do it anymore.
Oh.
I just holy shit! Like literally every time I thought one team definitely had the win or they had the lead, like oh they're definitely gonna be able to run away with this. Immediately the other team brings it back. Like that was such a good game. Stop doing that.
Bang.
Genuinely stop doing that. That's really annoying.